pads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done. Great. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick Fremont.
Oh, yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day I'm not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
Welcome to BGFG, episode 436. I'm your host, Chris Phoenix, and joining me, as always, my brother from another mother, Mr. Fremo Z. How are you doing this week, sir?
I am doing well. Unfortunately, right as you started the show, I had a fleet of our room bandits jump in and take care of them.
I'm sure you can multitask. I know you well
Oh,
enough.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's only 5 of their ships. I'm down to 1. So I killed 4 of them during the intro.
Oh, Starfield never gets old. I've never seen, I'm curious to see if you get to the point in Starfield where there's nothing left to do. Like, you've done all the planets, you've surveyed everything, you've done all the missions, and then you're literally stuck at the plus mode. And I don't think, I said it before and I'll say it again on the show. I do not think that you will, I don't think that you're going to play after you hit the plus mode. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Because you're
Well, you're certainly entitled to it.
Well, my opinion is such a dick. Douchebag. No, because you're going to lose everything. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to lose everything. So I think
that's what you. But then I asked, do I lose all my skill tree improvements? And you said no.
No, you don't.
So I'll be golden. Doesn't matter what gun I pick up, I'm maxed out.
Okay, that's fair. I never thought of it that way.
I mean, I'm literally killing stuff with thousands of hit points in single shots while in stealth mode. I mean,
yeah, it's going to work out nicely. So we got a rather large show today, and we're going to kind of get through it because we have a hankering to play some games today. It is I don't know how it is down in your area, but it is a beautiful day here. The weather switched right over from cold and rainy to beautiful spring, and my knees and hips are killing me.
T-shirts and sandals outside with no problem today.
Yeah, my knees and hips are absolutely throbbing right now. It's just awful.
Yeah, mine are not happy with the constant barometric changes that we're going through, but
so first up in our show on occasions, we have to talk about not coming down for breakfast. And those are the people that unfortunately will not be coming down for breakfast, and we offer them up a golden ticket and a towel. Because why? Because you always need a towel, period. If you're traveling, bring a towel. If you're the golden ticket is our way of saying, hey, look, if the spaceship comes or something, you can say, hey, look, I got this ticket. I was told I can get on here. I can get the fuck out of here. So, and by the way, that doesn't count for mature because I kind of muted myself. But unfortunately, not coming down for breakfast. First up will be Richard Lewis. Now, Richard Lewis is a comedian, actor, 76 years old, died of a heart attack. Our generation, I think, will always remember him as Men in Tights? Yeah, it was Men in Tights, where he said
the really inept king.
Yeah, where he had a mole that kept moving. Every scene, the mole was on a different part of his face. And then midway, 3/4 of the way through the show, the movie, they said, your mole keeps moving. And he just looked deadpan at the camera. I have a mole? Yeah. Which is, I thought was just brilliant the way his delivery was. Another one that passed away, unfortunately, was Oli Anderson. And for those that don't know, Oli Anderson was one of the founding members of the Four Horsemen. That's right, hold up them four, with Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson and J.J. Dillon. He died 81. He was the epitome, from what I've read and shit. He was the epitome of a gnarly man. just his way or the highway, gnarly. He'll punch you in the face if he needs to. Just grizzled is the easiest way to explain it. And then everyone's got
I got
nothing.
no problem with that.
Right. And then lastly was Virgil.
That's what we're missing. That's what we're missing in this world. Is
Amen.
dudes that'll just take care of business and not give a
Shit.
crap
You will not break it, will you?
what people. I'm not going to be responsible for it. No.
For the mature, yeah, you asshole. And there I go. Mature title gone. Oh, on. Virgil is the last one. His real name was Michael Jones. He was the sidekick for a while, really, for $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in pro wrestling. Virgil passed away at 61. Cause of death is still unknown. Now, Virgil's got many funny stories. Most of them is the fact that he was always chasing a dollar, like any good old school wrestling person did. They chased the money. That's what they did. And what they did was he had there's a story where he had a conversation with a guy in a bar, just talking, a random wrestling fan, just talking, sitting down, having beers. And Virgil hands him a picture and signs it, an 8x10, and signs it. And the guy's like, "Oh, thanks a lot, Mike." And he's like, "That'll be $20." He's like, "Mike, I didn't ask you for this picture." He's like, "Yeah, it's $20." He's like, "But I didn't ask you for it." He stands up and he's like, "That'll be $20." There's stories of him showing up at indie events that he wasn't even on the card. And he would put up a table, 8x10s, whatever other gimmicks he had to sell. The man was a hustler, and that's what old school wrestling was. He was a hustler. So, golden ticket and towel to all three of you. May you rest in peace.
And now on to the less important news.
Yeah, let's do that.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
It was a crazy news week. It was just strange on many
I'm
levels.
glad to see you drinking that. You need to drink more.
I agree. I'm trying to change and drink a lot more water. This one is smart water with alkaline. So, trying to do that. I'm throwing my liver for a curve.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What's the Pythagorean theorem?
A squared plus B squared plus C squared. Is that right? I can see it in my head.
Close. Drink more. Close.
Smart water's not working enough yet.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Okay. I'm an idiot.
Not plus C squared. I said you're close.
Thank you.
One more swig and you'd gotten it.
So first up in this week's news, there's another ransomware attack that we have to throw out there. This one was by Black Cat Gang, and they claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on Optum. Optum is a subsidiary of United Health Group. So again, we're talking medical stuff. This led to an ongoing outrage affecting Change Healthcare. And Change Healthcare is the largest payment platform used by more than 70,000 pharmacies. Part of me, and again, they're pharmacies. These are normal people working at CVS, Walmart, Walgreens. These are normal people. I wish they attacked. Why don't they attack pharmaceutical companies? Like, do us all a favor and just fucking bankrupt them. Those pieces of shit.
Because pharmaceutical companies are not as easy to get into because they have bank.
Yeah, that's true.
And they've got lots of secrets, so they're paying a lot of money to keep them secret.
That's also a fact. Black Hat said that they stole 6 terabytes of data, thousands of healthcare providers, insurance providers, pharmacies, etc. Black Hat claims they stole the source code as well, which is a bigger problem if they have the source code.
Yeah.
They said that they got medical records, insurance records, dental records, payment information, claims information, patients' data, active U.S. military data. I think that the military data acquisition was the worst of it all because this is active duty soldiers. Yeah. And it's not hard. It's not going to be hard for them to sell for a large amount of money. Sell that shit to a foreign government. If you know where active soldiers are in any shape or form, I'm not saying that they're special forces or no. If you say where any, you have an influx of vaccines in Afghanistan at a certain spot, that's going to tell these foreign countries that we're there when we might not be well known. So that kind of bothers me. Between November 21 and March 23, Black Cat has been linked to over 60 breaches. I did not know that. Because we've talked about Black Cat before, but 60 breaches? That's a lot of breaches. Bitches got breaches. And they raked in more than $300 million in ransom so far. U.S. State Department now offers up to $15 million for tips leading to arrests of any of them. Any of them. And what's probably going to be sad is there's some 13-year-old somewhere out there that's claiming that they're part of the Black Cat stuff to get, kudos with their kids at school.
$15 million.
And somebody's going to turn him in, and he's not going to be part of it. So let me just say that when you see stuff like this, that's like, oh, it's a $15 million for tips leading to the arrests of certain individuals. You have to get arrested. Like, your tip has to pan out before they pay off. It's not just like, hey, Fremo is definitely part of Black Cat. So, go get him. Here's his address. And I'm going to need that $15 million transferred. I got bills to pay. Where'd you go, Free? So we here at BGFG think that ransomware is pretty bad, but I found something a little bit worse this week, Free. The company Figure. This is gonna really, dude. This is messed up, and I hope that all the sheeple are listening. Oop, that's wrong. That's the wrong sound. I really hope that all the sheeple are listening because this is serious shit. So you have a company called Figure, and they're partnering with OpenAI. What does Figure do, you might ask? Well, they make humanoid robots. That's what they do. Humanoid robots. Last week, Figure announced a 675. Good.
You know who didn't get involved with this?
Elon.
Do you know who did?
Yeah, I do. We're going to get to that in a second. Yes. Last week, Figure announced a $675 million partnership with OpenAI. In this venture capital group that Fremo was alluding to, consists of Jeff Bezos, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Intel. That's a lot of big players in this industry. A lot of big players in this industry. Figure doesn't have a commercial product at all, but insists that if they have the vision, of shipping billions of units to homes and commercial alike. The friggin' CEO, Brad Adcock. Let me say that again, because it's worthwhile. Brad Adcock said, and I quote, "If we can get humanoids to do the work that humans are not wanting to do because there is a shortfall of humans, we can sell millions, possibly billions." Can you say iRobot? If you've ever seen the movie iRobot, this is what they're talking about. This is a freaking problem, people. A huge problem. OpenAI mixed with a humanoid robot. Now, you might be thinking, you might be on one of those paths where you're like, oh, that's going to be great. They can take out the trash. They can lift heavy things. They can clean the yard. No, you're sadly freaking mistaken. Sadly mistaken.
Well, I just don't understand the people that are wanting to implement this, what benefit they get out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Money. What do you mean? It's going to be money. Bezos, Microsoft.
But okay, one, they don't need any more money. So what is their actual objective here? There's literally there's nothing left for them to spend their money on.
Well, look at iRobot.
What is their objective?
I'm basing it on iRobot. Look at iRobot.
It's subjugation.
I get that. I know what you mean. But look at some of these dystopian films. iRobot, Metropolis.
Elysium.
Lithium. Yeah. Oh my God. Gattaca. Gattaca's a great example too. Gattaca's not really robots, but still, it's the same philosophy.
I mean, neither is Elysium or Equilibrium, but it's all the same end game.
Yeah, exactly. All the same.
They want to be the master, and they want to control all of mankind.
Exactly right.
The Matrix. I mean,
there's a good example. Yeah, the Matrix is a great example, and I think this, to me personally, I can't speak on you on this, but to me personally, this is terrifying. If this comes to fruition, this is terrifying.
And the funny thing is people are looking at us, and we're not even going out there on the crazy conspiracy tangents that other people are going on.
Nope.
And they're looking at us and they're like, you're just whatever, blah, blah, blah. Folks, it's already happening. I went into a fast food restaurant 4 months ago, walked up to the counter, and the guy was like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to order." He's like, and just pointed at the kiosk and walked away. Like they're I'm like, really? Do you not realize that you are next? You're the next thing being replaced in the food chain here, buddy. You're not taking an order. All you're doing is handing it to somebody. Guess what? That's real easy to replace next.
I just think here. So it's hard for me to, because it bothers me, because like today you just said that
Bezos wants this. Bezos wants this because it'll be so much easier for his warehouses and so much more efficient for his warehouses to have no humans in there picking and shipping.
But now you got to figure out now the positive. Look, before I get to that, I want to touch on one thing. You just made that statement. When I went to CVS this morning before we did the show to get stuff, there was nobody at the counter. It was self-checkout. The self-checkouts were there.
Yeah.
They're trying self-checkouts in a lot of things, so they're trying to phase out the humans. Now, the positive people, if we have a Star Trek utopia. Everybody, it's Star Trek. It's a utopia designed by the overlords, the universe, Gene Roddenberry, whatever the fuck you want to say. That's the positive. The negative is much more applicable, which is we're going to be sitting there just starving, barely surviving. There's no jobs, no work. They can talk about a lack of recession right now all they want. I'm watching people at a big box store get fired constantly or let go or laid off. They just did an earnings call, and they already allocated $30 million for another layoff round. Like, who the hell you have left?
Things are so ass backwards right now in our country. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
They are displacing American citizens, specifically in this example, children, and telling them to go home. School is not in session because we're gonna warehouse a bunch of illegals, and this is where we're putting them for now.
Yeah, we're not taking it out on illegals. We're not bagging on them.
No. I mean, I get it.
Right.
It's the greatest country in the world. Everybody wants to be here. I get it. But we got to figure this crap out because we are suffering as a society, and there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with sacrificing personally your own lifestyle to make someone else's better. That's actually how we should all live. My grandmother told me years ago, you should live your life conservatively so that you can be liberal with others.
Agreed. I agree. It's also a Christian attitude.
So you can always be available. You can always be available to help someone out, to help better somebody else.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But that's not what we're doing. We are literally telling people, we're not worried about you. We're going to take care of these people over here. Y'all can suffer.
Yeah. And it makes me think that
literally they are forcing redistribution of wealth on people who have worked their entire lives to accumulate what little they have.
100% agree. That's making a show highlight right there, because I couldn't have said it better. Now, that is scaring me. The fact that you want to put OpenAI in robots. But what really disturbed me this week, and I'm hoping that you watch the video on it. If you watch the video on it, it's really, really bad. Oh, we're doing a grandkid break. Look at him. That is a big binky. The hell is size is that binky, kid? Good Lord. Oh.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. What's going on, buddy? He's got nothing to say.
It's video. It's not a picture. You can talk and move. All right.
Oh, don't hit the button. That'll make Grandpa sound stupid. I mean, smart. He can't hear me right now because he had to put his headset on. Dumb shit. Got hair like a hippie. If you're watching on the video, you'll see. A stupid beard, hair like a... Hey, buddy.
He's already been in here.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
You already got a piece? Come on.
Nice. And I don't care if people want to send. I don't care if people want to send email. One day you will have grandchildren, and you'll realize how important they are.
Oh yeah.
But I digress. Getting back to the OpenAI mixed with cybernetic humanoids is a fucking problem, and you should be afraid, because they don't have, that company doesn't have a full-on plan. They literally are going for money. And when they got this backing, the fact that the CEO said almost nothing, like we can make millions if not billions, that right there means it's a money grab. They don't care about the repercussions of this.
Yeah.
Now you add to this, and Fremo, I really hope you watched the video that I posted. Alibaba's new AI system called EMO is so unbelievably frightening. I thought the first story was bad. I thought having robotics with AI mixed was bad, humanoid robots. This EMO system creates realistic talking and singing videos from friggin' photos, dude. Photos.
You've already been seeing this. You just don't realize it.
No, not to
ads.
this extent. Not to this extent.
Oh yeah. Spend a little
disagree.
time on YouTube and you'll come across a video of what's her name, redheaded actress Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Talking about ED for and what her husband did
Really?
to solve it.
Really?
You know she didn't do that.
I did
There's
not.
there's one of Kurt Russell talking about how you should claim your $6,400 subsidy. You know he didn't do that.
I do
And
remember seeing.
If you watch it close enough, you can tell that it doesn't quite the voice doesn't quite match up perfectly with the mouth movements. But it's his voice, her voice. It's them. They're animated. They're talking, but it's not them.
I have seen the Tom Cruise cooking at some restaurant somewhere, which was pretty accurate, but you could still tell it was fake. Emote Portrait Alive does it extremely well. The system's able to create fluid and expressive facial movements and head poses that are they're so natural it's scary. And we now think about it. If you go back, think about it. We started with superimposing lips on pictures on like Saturday Night Live or The Tonight Show or The Late Show, with just pictures, and you knew that the lips were like somebody else's that they were talking. Funny and humorous. Then we advanced to blending audio into 3D shapes to get a close facial movement. But you knew watching the face that, okay, that guy's not saying that. The face isn't matching up. The eyes aren't matching up, things like that. This is how we always knew it was fake. Now they're layering audio into the video track and allowing AI to make all the adjustments itself. Yeah. And what makes it even worse is when you add an AI model to it, now you're not really sure if this is real or not. And as you can see from the link, if you click on the link, it gets real hard to distinguish a real person from an AI generated person. Like it's really tough.
Here's what I think's great about it. If there's a silver lining to this,
There's not.
it's all the people who have sold their likeness,
Okay.
like the celebrity industry.
Yeah, celebrity. I mean, you're out there.
They can now they can make any movie they want without you.
Yeah. You can, I mean, like if you guys click on the link and watch the video, you have Mona Lisa painting that's reciting Shakespeare. You have a young Leonardo DiCaprio singing Rap God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you sold your likeness, there's a movie and there's never been made a sequel's never been made because the actor wouldn't get on board. But the studio owns that actor's likeness as that character. They can now proceed with the sequel.
Yeah, they absolutely can. And this is and
with no recourse.
And chew on this for a minute.
Awesome.
This is a new technology. This is brand new. What happens when they start tweaking it over the next few years?
Oh,
I mean, think about.
First of all, look at the AI generated stuff that they already have that you look at. I mean, look at the games that we play today. There are cutscenes that you can't tell the difference between it and an actual movie with real people in it, right?
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think of the opening of Helldivers.
Right. So the next big action star may not even be a person.
Yeah, it might be an AI generated. And think about how many political figures, enemies of the state, or essentially anyone that wants to ruin another person's life can create a fake version of them by saying something. That's some bullshit, dude. Like big time bullshit. And it really pisses me off. So Fremo and I could take a picture of ourselves from 20 years ago, like the stuff that's on BGFG online. Go check it out. Those two pictures are old. I don't have any gray hair. Fremo doesn't have a beard or long hair. We could take those two pictures and we could put this system to it and run an algorithm from AI with all of our shows for almost 500 episodes. And it could do
We'd never have to do another show.
We would never have to do another. It would swear and everything. It would be awful. There'd be like, it would clip out and like be a whole segment of going, douchebag.
Yeah, I was going to say, there'd be a whole episode of us just laughing for no reason and you calling me a douchebag.
Pretty much. I just think, seriously, it's some scary shit, honestly, between that and the previous story. It's worrisome. And I think that if you're a younger generation than Gen X, or if you're Gen X, I think it's our duty to be vocal and put out there that we don't want this, that we don't want to be part of this.
Do you know who's already taking a stand and has filed a lawsuit against specifically Microsoft? I'm not sure who else about getting involved with this.
Is it your buddy?
Elon is suing Microsoft for abandoning their response. I'd have to go back and find the exact wording, but he's basically saying, y'all are abandoning your ethics to humanity.
Yes, 100%. I agree. 100%. I agree. It's shitty.
I might get you on board yet.
Oh, you're gonna get me on board by the end of the show. You're gonna hear it. But first, let's try to like change the feeling of it. We're gonna get into this week's music. Now, this week's music is something new. This song dropped 2 days ago, a day and a half maybe.
Who's the artist?
The artist is The Cost, which is a 3-man band. Now, what's important with that band?
Is it?
What?
Is it a 3-man band or is it AI?
No, it's 3-man band. The drummer,
sure?
yes.
You've seen him live?
Yeah, well, not live, but yes. Stop. The drummer for this band is Estebario, who's a YouTube drumming sensation. If you've never seen his drumming videos, watch some of those drumming videos first.
Really?
The man's insane. The man's
El
very...
Estebario Ciberano?
Look at you with the big words.
That's his name. El Estebario Ciberano.
I can't pronounce that.
I think he's genius.
He is an absolute genius on the drums. So this is his first band, which is funny because you'd expect, like, he stays in the pocket.
It's not his first band, but it's a
his
band. It's the first band he's created.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so stoked to hear this.
Yeah, this is his first song. Is from the band's name is The Cost. This song is called Not For Me. And we're going to come back on the other side for some stick style and a lot of stuff that Fremo's going to approve of. So here's The Cost. We'll catch you on the other side. Track. What a good track. That is The Cost, Not For Me. And it's unfortunate that the YouTube people are not going to hear that. And Fremo's not quite back yet, so come on, Free. It's a great track. Oh, I love that track so much. And it's only been out for like 2 days, which is pretty cool. So Fremo should be back any second. So now we have to have dead air, unfortunately.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh, and here he is. He just came back. There. Oh, wait. Nope. You gotta throw his hair back. So, what'd you think?
I think those two guys are very lucky.
Yeah, drums are pretty much locked in.
Obviously, they're good musicians in their own right. That's very tight. I liked it. But this is not helping your claim earlier that these were real guys, because everybody knows that Estepario is a machine. There's no way to do what he does and not be a freaking machine.
He is insanely good. Like, insanely good.
Have you watched some of his clips where he does like he'll start off and he's doing one tempo like on the hi-hat.
Yep.
And it shows it's like a triangle, and every time the ball hits the points, he's hitting the hi-hat.
Yeah.
And then there's a square and he's doing the bass drum. So he's running two different tempos, right?
Yeah.
And then he adds something else, and then I watched one day. He had a triangle, a square, hexagon, and then I don't even know how many points were on the outside. It's like 5 different rhythms that he was running at the same time.
He's a machine. You're not wrong.
And I'm just like, how? How?
The way he runs triplets and stuff. All right. Before we start this week's Stick Style, I am going to be drinking the classic Miller Lite this week.
Okay. All right. We got one thing I got to take care of real quick. I just got pinged on. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll start Stick Style and enjoy my beer as I wear it like a moron. All right, let's get into this week's Stick Style.
Gaming.
Okay. So you are drinking the Miller Lite.
I am drinking the Miller Lite, yes.
Okay, and?
That's it? What are you drinking?
Oh, I didn't know if you had whiskey too or not.
I do, but I've already finished that one. So.
Oh, okay.
What are you drinking?
Right, so.
Ooh, what do you got? Stella. Oh, that's a good beer too. It's a refreshing beer.
Yum.
Yeah, I just I got to get rid of this last light, and then I have Modelo because it's getting to be spring. All right, so let's get through the Stick Style stuff. First up is PlayStation Plus games for March. We're looking at
nothing new here, folks. Move along.
We're looking at Sifu, which is a martial arts role-playing game, which I'm looking forward to trying.
Through it.
I am. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, F1 23, and Hello Neighbor 2. Again, PlayStation, like, come on, man, get your shit together. This is just nothing great.
I mean, F1's not going to be anything to sneeze at. That's done by Codemasters.
Yeah, F1 is good, but like Hello Neighbor 2, okay. Destiny 2, nobody cares about it anymore except for hardcore gamers that are like stuck on Destiny 2.
Not even hardcore gamers, just hardcore Destiny people.
Agreed. Sifu, I do want to try. Sifu's got a lot of good reviews, and especially from martial artists, so I want to try it.
Is Sifu, is it the little rat dude from Kung Fu Panda?
No. Cute. I see
what you did Sifu?
There. It's a Sifu.
Is that dude's name?
No. Well, yeah, it's his name, but Sifu is a title.
Well, yeah.
It's teacher. Game Pass games for March are going to be, and these are all spread out throughout the month. Which
what do you call student?
Oh, shit.
In that same context.
I don't remember. I don't remember, which is really embarrassing.
I don't know how to address you.
Oh, fuck off.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
That's some bullshit. I don't understand why Game Pass is spreading out their March games. I don't get that. But Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun is going to be March 5th, which is 2 days from this recording. Lightyear Frontier, March 19th. MLB The Show 24, March 19th as well. And then on the March 28th, you're going to get Diablo 4 and Open Roads. Diablo 4 is what's really kind of kind of pulling this whole thing. Warhammer's got its own rights, but and when it comes to sports games, you can get sports diehards for that particular one. In this case, MLB. But I think the conversation really needs to happen around Diablo 4. A good game that's finally coming to Game Pass, but at the end of the month, I mean, that's kind of shitty. I think. At the very least,
Well, it depends on how long they leave it. I mean,
well, that's a good point too. That's a valid point. And that's
what about Open Roads?
Open Roads, I'm not really. Again, I don't know. There's nothing of substance. I feel there are a lot of games. I feel that Game Pass, as much as they put out, which is more than. So if we go back and we look at PlayStations, Sifu has got a lot of traction. Destiny 2 has got a huge user base. F1 has got a huge user base. Hello Neighbor does have its claim to fame. So they are quality games. Game Pass, on the other hand, they like to throw out games that are independent or haven't done well selling, I guess. They plateaued on selling. Like, it's not hard to understand that Diablo 4 has plateaued. MLB is kind of like a franchise type sports game for Xbox, so they're putting that on there. Warhammer is... I'm sorry, but as much as I like some of the Warhammer games, that's not going to do huge numbers. So why not put it on Game Pass? Like, you have to think back office free. They're looking at Game Pass like we're getting, $110 a year from 50 million people, whatever the number is. You know what I mean? Would that justify putting?
Yeah, forget I said anything. I just read what Open Road was.
But did you understand what I was saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it's really like a cost effective. Warhammer's not going to do the numbers that Diablo 4 did. So let's release that at the beginning of the month on Game Pass to recoup some money or to get some money, because now you're accounting for everybody that has Game Pass, where Diablo 4 made all of its money, and now it's just a good game that you can put on Game Pass and intrigue more people.
Right.
So let's move on to
going.
So let's move on to the game that we've been playing the shit out of, which is Helldivers. And granted, I will say this right now. Forza Cat and Mouse is there. Send us an invite, send us an email, whatever you want to do on almost any platform, and we'll respond and we'll get you into a little bit of Cat and Mouse. We are more than happy to do that. But right now, our mainstay that we've been enjoying the shit out of is Helldivers, because it's just stupid fun. And again, as we said before, if you've ever seen Starship Troopers, it's Starship Troopers. If you haven't seen Starship Troopers, go watch Starship Troopers. Sit through it, whether you think it's a horrible movie. No shit, it's a horrible movie. We're not saying
What? I thought that was the best movie of its type ever.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But they haven't
Not that there's a lot of those movies.
There's not any Academy Awards or Oscars going out to that movie.
No.
So
it literally, it's very campy, but yeah, I'm okay with that.
And it's way different than the book. The book is way more. I would say Helldivers is closer to the book of Starship Troopers than the movie is. But the movie has its qualities, and now you have the ability to play it. So Arrowhead Games, and I don't know if you know this, and I'm so happy to tell you this. Arrowhead Game Studios are big fans of Dungeons and Dragons. And because of that, they now have an ongoing war. Like in the game, you have a war. On the left side of the map, the galactic map, is the automatrons, which are the robots, like Terminator, think. And then on the right side of the map is the arachnids. I can't remember the name of them. But the arachnids, which is more Starship Troopers-esque. So you can pick whichever side you want, and it's a constant battle. What I intrigued my kids, my two gamer kids, with is the fact that this is, like, you always hear about persistent online. Fremo and I play Starfield often. When I jump in, my game is still the same, but maybe my bounties are less, or their ship isn't in orbit on this particular planet anymore. That's wonderful. This game is constantly evolving when you're not on. You could be on one night and then you come on a second time and like the whole map has changed because there's wins and losses in the war. So there's a guy named Joel that's actually the game master free. The game master is pretty much like a dungeon master, and he has a lot of control over the day-to-day gameplay. The game is constantly evolving based on what's happening with the player base in the game. What Joel's allowed it to...
I am so jealous of this dude.
Oh, right. I know.
That's like the best job ever.
Like, he has the ability to give players access to new stratagems, which are these drops that you can get for special abilities and shit. And like recently, he allowed a certain amount of players to get a mech, a fucking mech free.
Yeah.
Other players have gotten a vehicle, like almost identical to a Warthog, that you can use inside the game. And one of the other things he has to do is when there's an offensive... My wife is sneaking in and out of the room. Fremo's wife is talking to her. So the story, I am too. I just had a drop off. The story will change based on the player's behavior in Helldivers. And I quote, there's been some sudden... Listen,
Joel,
listen.
I'm coming for you, buddy.
Listen. And I quote, there have been some sudden movements where maybe one planet was too easy or one was too hard. And Joel had to get up in the middle of the night to give the autonomatrons a bit of reinforcements that the players don't take the planet too quickly. I love that by itself, period. If you have a bunch of Helldivers heading to one planet to eradicate anything, Joel might get a call and be like, hey, look, they're about to take this entire sector if they keep going at this rate. We need to add something to it. Now, Fremo and I dropped in recently, and I was like, and Fremo was like, is this always like this? And I said, no, it's not like this all the time. Like, this is crazy. Like, the amount of arachnids that we're finding was insane. And then you have
we
a
dropped
time...
into one of Joel's ha-has.
Oh, my gosh. Then you have a time where Malivian, I'm not saying that right, Melvelion, known as the Robot Vietnam, fell into Autonomon. I can't say any of this shit today.
Cut and paste it into the chat, and I'll read it for you.
Automaton controls making the planet inaccessible, and they basically won. They beat the planet. You can't get to the planet anymore. Now, in hindsight, you look at it, and Starfield made the game so big that there's always something to do. Fremo is proof of that, where there's always something to do. You can scan a planet, you can go anywhere else. And Helldivers made a constant changing environment. Unlike EA, who's literally screwing the pooch yet again for some ungodly reason. They just laid off...
Looks like I don't have to worry about trying to get my EA account squared away.
I wouldn't. EA just laid off 5% of their workforce. And you might think, oh, 5%, that's not a lot. In EA, that's huge. They have a huge workforce. Of course, they justify it by they're trying to optimize their global footprint. The f does that mean? Optimizing your global footprint? They said, we're streamlining our company operations to deliver a deeper, more connected experience. Really? That's your...
You want me to translate?
Yes, please.
We're going to be using AI to code our games.
Oh, so true. So true. Seriously, I think they're starting to... I'm starting to agree with Fremo with the shitty aspect of EA, because one of the things they did was they literally closed the Star Wars game. They were making a Star Wars Mandalorian game, and now they can't because the studio's been basically shut down, for lack of a better term, and it's just not going to get made. And I think that's really shitty that first-person shooter of Mandalorian is not getting made. You would have had Mandalorian, you would have had Boba Fett, you would have had all the Mandalorians. It's really shitty. So let's close the gaming segment today with talking about something a little bit on the positive side. Now, I have a chair here, which is the Secret Labs chair. I love this chair. I think it's the best chair I've ever owned. It's super comfortable. You can be a big guy, you can be a small guy. It doesn't matter. The chair is ultra comfortable. Now you don't have to decide.
You don't even want to see the chair I'm rocking.
No, I don't. No, I don't, because I know you well enough. You're as bad as I was before my wife bought me this one. It's just like whatever chair I can put my ass on.
Friend. Oh no, my friend. This thing is as comfortable as all get out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Okay. So
right, I'll show you.
Yeah, let me see. I'm buying you a fucking chair. That is no.
It's molded to me.
Okay. All right, if it works for you.
It is completely comfortable, dude.
So if you have a Secret Labs chair, or you were thinking about getting a Secret,
it's almost invisible.
It is. Or you're thinking about getting a Secret Labs chair. They're not cheap, but they are worth it. Out of all the chairs I've owned in the house, from Corsair to OptSeat to a bunch of different ones from Amazon, this is by far the most comfortable for long-term gaming. Now, you don't have to decide which one to get, because once you get one, you can now see Secret Labs skins. They're the top and the bottom covers, and they have all the styles you love. Fortnite, Overwatch, Boba Fett, Harley Quinn, Naruto, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Cyberpunk, many more. It's going to cost you $170, and that's far less than a new chair. So once you get the chair and you just want like a Halo one or a Starfield, if they ever came out with a Starfield and or a Helldivers one, I'm probably going to buy it. It's $170, and that's far less than a new chair. So you just buy these covers, throw it over it, and have at it. I think that's brilliant. All right, let's get into tech news, which is the last segment. So first up in tech news, Apple might have saw the writing on the wall with everything. Freeman was going to get a beer. Apple,
no, I was pouring one out for the homies.
Oh, right. Apple's canceled their autonomous car.
Apple's done.
Yeah, and you got to wonder why, though, right? Did Apple cancel because AI is getting too much? Or are they just following the trend of automakers abandoning electric vehicles because they're not worth it? Freemo's pointed out in the show numerous times that building an electric vehicle is actually way more costly to the environment and mechanically and economically than building a combustion engine car. So people are realizing that, and not everyone has full solar panels on their house to offset the cost of charging. They have a limited range, so they're not traveling without huge preparation and planning as to where I'm going to stop and get, electricity. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Go ahead.
Apple Car's dead because of what I said a couple weeks ago about EV. And that is hydrogen engines are now a thing.
Yep.
Nothing can compete with that.
No.
Nothing.
GM just pulled all the super drive cars.
The cost of a hydrogen combustion car won't be any more than conventional internal combustion gasoline cars, right? They'll get there is some reinforcing that has to be done on certain parts of the engine, but the fuel cost, hydrogen, is the most abundant thing that we have. So it'll be cheaper to fill your car up than charge a car.
Agreed. And Google, so GM stopped their super drive cars. Google's still testing in small areas their cars. Apple started working on Project Titan in 2014 with about 1,400 employees assigned to the project. Some of them will be reassigned internally, but the rest will be shit in the tier and the unemployment line like the rest of us. And I hope they don't have dry eyes, because if they have dry eyes, they're kind of screwed. You can't get eye drops right now. At least I wouldn't. Stop right now if you do have eye drops in the kitchen or the bathroom. Eye drops, both for CVS and Walmart, are being recalled.
At work for that surprise meeting you didn't know you were going to be in.
Yeah. The FDA discovered a lack of sterile environment at the manufacturing plant. Extra bacteria, which can cause infections, were found in Equate, CVS Health, and AACE Pharmaceuticals. This previously happened to global pharma healthcare, and it's an antibiotic resistant bacteria. So you're gonna get some shit in your eyes, without a doubt. And it's just bad news after bad news. We told you before about those camera doorbells that were being watched by the police. Well, now they can be hacked super easy, like super easy. There's a lot of companies that use the ECAN cameras from China. Yes, China. So
I wonder if there's a trend here about technology coming out of China. I can't quite put my finger on it.
And once you download the app, all you have to do is be in the proximity and hold down the button for pairing, and you have access to that person's camera. Now, the good news is that you'll get an email that your device has been changed ownership, but still, it's been compromised. When Consumer Reports reached out to ECAN, guess what? They didn't respond at all. These cameras are still available for sale on Amazon, but everybody else has kind of stopped them. And finally this week, IBM now has AI helping with protecting your solid-state drives. Now, the AI can intercept and disable ransomware in real time. That's a good thing. They're only for enterprise
This is what
storage.
AI should be doing.
Correct. They're only there for IBM storage. Well, IBM Storage Defender is an AI-powered sensors that were developed by IBM to detect attacks. And this is for enterprise use only, which is fine. I'm worried
It'll
about
trickle down.
I'm worried about the day-to-day. I mean, we had to deal with optane drives, which are absolutely horrible, and we just saw a bad software cause an AT&T outage. So it could be a moron that's trying to download something that bricks the entire fucking system at a bank because somebody wanted to download Spotify.
Yeah.
But, you know, your hope
We had
is
a nice little incursion this past week at my work.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, we stopped at cold, but
yeah, but this will help a lot.
I have a workstation sitting in my office that's not in the network, and I'm going through it bit by bit, and I'm gonna see if I can't find what I need to be able to give the perpetrator a hard time window.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. All right, so I don't have anything else this week. We're gonna go play Helldivers. So that's it for this week. Tense Down show's over.
Democracy.
So you can find more of this garbage at bgfgonline.com. You can also send us an email with your questions or suggestions at bgfgshow@gmail.com. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.